It's Reiki Day! Let's go. Bringing you prayer energy. Bringing you universal life force energy. Reiki. Bringing up the Earth's energy. Bringing down the angels and their energies, heavenly hosts, all to create the planetary Reiki Gaia angel prayer infused flow. Welcome to Reiki Day Live, and I'm your host, Brother James. So let's get into the flow. Peace, everybody. This is Brother James, House of Healing Light, a higher frequency school of energy, being, and we are so happy to have you here at Reiki Day. So happy Reiki Day to everyone. We are just so thankful to have you here. We're so blessed to be backed by God to give you Reiki Day. And we're honored, so honored for you to be here. And we just want to make today a very beautiful and blessed day where the energies will be flowing, the Reiki will be flowing, the angels' energy will be flowing, and the Earth's energy will be flowing. And so we have some things we want to talk about before we get into all of those guided meditations that will be happening throughout the day. We want to talk about a subject that was given to me by Allah for us to talk about. And we will get into that after the prayer, but just to give you a little heads up, the key word is ascension. So let us go ahead and connect with the God in prayer, and then we'll go into speaking about ascension. And I pray that Allah will bless me to give it to you in a way that will touch your mind, heart, soul, body, and your ears, so that it will truly affect you. But for right now, everybody please take a comfortable position, prayer position, as we say prayer. In the name of the Creator of all that is and shall be, in the name of all the messenger, prophets, sages, gurus, all those who were sent to help heal us on all the different levels that we've needed healing. We humbly come before you, seeking you and asking for you to give us the healing that we need, the tremendous overall healing that we need and that the planet needs. We ask that you empower us. We ask that you teach, train, and show us the ways that we can better ourselves, better each other, and be better maintainers and caretakers of our planet. We ask that you guide our steps and help us to see the things that we need to see and to work on the things that we need to work on to make great things happen for the benefit of our health, whether it be our mind, body, soul, emotions. Help us, help us, help us. We ask this in the name of all of those who came before us, all those worthies, as we say, Amen, Amen. Once again, thank you, everybody. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time, whether you're here or you're listening or watching through YouTube. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And we want to just go ahead and get into it. As I said, the key word for Reiki Day, for this Reiki Day that I was given by Allah, is ascension. So let us first start with an definition of ascension. Ascension is a process of transformation and elevation of consciousness, moving from a limited ego-driven existence to a higher state of awareness and interconnectedness with the divine for universal consciousness. Now, as I was thinking about things to say to us, and I actually had some notes last night as I'm thinking about what to say, Allah gave me something that's tremendous, and He made me realize something that I did not see at the beginning of Reiki Day. So I asked Him to please guide my words and to please guide me so that I can try to bring across to you the importance of Reiki Day, the importance of ascension, and why Reiki Day is an important part of our ascension. Now, when we think about ascension, the best place we should go is the beginning of God Himself, the beginning of Allah, or whatever name that you subscribe to, the Creator. Let's look into His ascension by looking at him bringing Himself into existence and the things corresponding afterwards. So, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that in the beginning, there were atoms, but there was one that had a tremendous will. It wanted to do things. And in the buildup of that will, power was unleashed, energy was unleashed, and it ended up affecting that atom and all the atoms surrounding it. And because of this, that's when we say the spark of life began. So part of our ascension is getting that spark of life back. We've already survived the first part of the spark of life. But now you got to look at yourself and ask yourself, am I still carrying that spark? And what have I done with that spark? Now, the Creator, after sparking Himself into existence, or as He's sparking Himself into existence, He's bringing things into order because, again, His energy affected the other atoms, and now there's an attraction, and they end up coming together to form brain. But as the one who caused this situation, the lead atom wants to give everybody an aim, a purpose, all the other atoms, an aim and a purpose. Because as we are taught, the first law of the universe is motion, but the second is order. So Allah brings the atoms together, and now He has to make order. And a way of ordering things is to give aim and purpose. That's another part of our ascension. What is your aim and your purpose? What did the Creator bring you into existence for? This is a major part of our ascension because it has to do with us figuring out and finding out what we're here for so we can do the job. So after Allah brings about order, we are taught that He studied Himself. Have you studied yourself lately? Have you gone deep within? See, most of us today, we're running away from ourselves. We don't want to look at ourselves. Aesthetically, some of us don't want to look at ourselves, but most of us don't want to look at the inner self. But the originator studied himself and found a second self, which he then called woman, and brought her out, taking from himself to make another being. Another part of our ascension is you have to come outside of yourself. After you study yourself, you have to begin to come outside of yourself and understand that you have now a connection or interconnectedness to everything else in creation, which gives us a responsibility to always be mindful of our actions and how it affects others. The golden rule. Now we're beginning to see it better. This is part of our ascension. It's not just you raising yourself by God's help and permission, but it's you becoming aware that everything that you do affects others in creation directly or indirectly. So it should teach us to be careful of our thoughts, for as a man thinketh, so is he. But then God gives us a mercy. There's a time between your thought and your action. So you can correct your thought before you make the wrong action. Another part of ascension, God recognizing that the originator gives you mercy, now you have to reciprocate that to others. So now he's pulled out his second self. He's still bringing things out of himself. Look at what that means. Your ascension is you working on you, but you being able to bring out things and create things. But notice how the Creator creates. When he creates something, he gives it an aim and a purpose, but he makes it fit within the world and stays in balance. Part of our ascension is being able to stay in balance. So as he's going along, he's creating laws to keep order. How many of us have this mindset that we just going to do what we want to do? Even if we know that there's bad consequences, we're going to do it anyway. See, we have to ascend past that. It's okay to have ideas. That's fine. You're supposed to think. But in our ascension, we're supposed to learn and be able to see how we're affecting things. And then, like the golden rule, do unto others what you have them to do unto you. Want for your brother what you would want for yourself. That's supposed to keep us out of doing negative things to others, because we wouldn't want anything negative to happen to us. That's part of the ascension process. because now we have to shape our thinking, shape our actions. And we have to think about the systems that are now being put in place. Again, as Allah is creating himself, he's keeping order by making laws. But one of the foundational things is knowing yourself, as we said a little bit ago. How does that tie into Reiki Day? Well, we have a class called Know Thyself, which allows you to now study your energy. Now, the good thing about studying your energy, not only is it the basis of you, but your energy doesn't lie. Energy stays what it is. So whatever your energy is inside of you, that's you. That's the real you. Not the you that you've conjured in your mind, not the you that you might have been taught by external factors that you are, but this is the real you. So you have to know yourself. Again, that's part of why he kept studying. And we have to have that insatiable attitude of wanting to learn. That's part of your ascension. You can't lose that. You got to want to learn. Because once you stop wanting to learn, you plateau. But God never stops. According to both Bible and Quran, Allah doesn't stop. He's going to keep going. So if you stop, you're going to fall behind. You're not going to be able to partake of the new wisdom, new knowledge and understanding that is being given. But after you study yourself, that's to give you a firm foundation. And part of that foundation is part of that order that Allah has created in the universe. And that's also why, if you notice, in Reiki Day, the first thing we were given is life force, life, which is the Creator's beginning, sparking life. But then the second thing that came to Reiki Day was Gaia, Mother Earth, giving us a firm place to stand, building a base, bringing order, because as you know about a tree, it can only ascend as far as its branches spread out, because its branches is what keeps it firm. So in our ascension and in God's ascension, he's doing these things to keep order. He's given us these systems to use, these energies to use, to give us a foundation to work from, something to keep us grounded so that we can study, we can think, we can do, we can learn. And then as we're learning, we bring prayer. Prayer is communication. When he brought the other atoms together, they had to communicate. He brought them to order by giving each one an aim and a purpose, because each one had a different attribute, a different element, or some difference of some sort. But they had to be in an order so that they could be best utilized and work as one. This is another part of our ascension. You have to communicate. But our communication, as I've said through the days of prayer, first should be to the Creator, by whatever name you call him by. Constant communication with him begins to allow us to ascend. Because there's so much knowledge we don't know, we're not ready for. But that constant communication, and as I've said throughout the days of prayer, don't get stuck on the prescribed prayers. Understand that prayer means communication with God, with the Creator, with Allah, Jah, or whatever have you. And so it's an ongoing communication. And it has to get to the point of like master, teacher, father, son, daughter, where we are talking to him in that manner. Not just saying prescribed prayers, but really talking about life, talking about how you feel, where you think you should go. Allah, is it time to make my business? Or is it time to just chill and plan? See, we have to get into that. And I know it's going to take some time. Because in this life, we are definitely on the grind. But we have to start including him in the grind. Am I going to have a good day at work? Oh, Lord, please let me have a good day at work. Please help me to control my temper, because I know I got to work with so-and-so today, and we don't get along. The more we talk, communicate with him, the more answers can be shown, and the better life becomes. Because then it's not as much trial and error. Now it's trial and success, because he's the one helping to guide you, giving you ideas. You know, you may have to do some things to figure it out, but at least you know there's going to be a good outcome. And even if it's not the outcome that you wanted, you know you still learned something. You learned what not to do. So now the prayer, the communication, like I said, that original Adam is now communicating with the rest of them in order to bring about things. So we need that communication with the originator. But it's coming out of the fact that he said to set that up in his beginning. And then there has to be meditation. You know, the originator contemplates things. He can use precognition, where he can see down the different paths of the different timelines and then see which is going to have the best outcome, or has the outcome that he's looking for. And then he can design his plan around it. This is why we have to meditate. Which is what I've been saying throughout the days of prayer. Meditation goes with prayer. Because prayer is you talking to God, talking to Allah. But you still have to wait. You still need a way for him to talk back to you. So the meditation part allows you to free your mind, to calm it down, calm your body down, so that now he can begin to talk to you. Now, he's probably talking to you all the time. But again, we running, we moving, making moves, you know? And we're not paying attention. So we got to meditate. to start getting answers, to start to declutter our minds. Part of the ascension process. Now, as the Creator has now set up the communication, because He's the one who started everything, out of love and respect for everyone else, all the other atoms, He takes control because He started it. He disrupted that peace that they had. So He took authority. And so this is why I believe He gave us, for Reiki Day, He gave us the throne of self. Because He wants you to start taking authority of yourself. Have the true responsibility of self. And then you can begin to show authority outside of yourself. But it'll be by His permission, because in the throne of self class, He's there. He not only gives you your throne, but He becomes part of your throne room. And then He gives you a guardian and an angel to help you to carry out your duties. See, it becomes important now. But now you're being taught. You're being able to discuss directly with the Lord of all the worlds, with God. He's opened up that sanctuary now where we can talk to Him. Directly. And you know He's there. You understand? It's not like just praying and in your heart and your mind, you know He's listening. But it's a difference when you can feel His presence and you know that He's there. Now you can move out with a little more oomph, because there's no doubt, there's no question. Just like He gave us the inner sanctuary manifesting through prayer, where He taught me how to help us to build the sanctuary where He is on one side, you're on the other, but you're in the same space. You can feel His energy. And so when you make your prayers in that inner sanctuary, He could give you energy. See, again, middleman is gone. No doubt. Now you know that His help is being given. And then He gave us a way to work with that energy, begin to understand it, and take on the proper mindset. I'm trying to show you how this was what Allah wanted from the beginning. I didn't know. He just gave me Reiki Day, and I just started doing what was being given to me to do. But now I know it was every part of it is connected to Him and His ascension, what He was doing to get from an atom to what He is now. And that we can do the same, because He opened that pathway up Himself, but He made us in His likeness and after His image, so we can walk the same path. We can ascend, family. And you have to accept that. So, like Him, we have to study ourselves. He gave us know thyself. Then we have to awaken the DNA, because the DNA is connected to your soul, which has your blueprint, your aim and purpose. But your DNA gives you what you need to carry out your aim and purpose. So by awakening your DNA, you can start to awaken parts of your soul, parts of your blueprint. You now can do them. So again, God studies himself, finds something within himself. That's why we have to do the same. And awakening the DNA allows you to use the know thyself technique, but now you can begin to discover more detailed parts of yourself because you awaken the DNA. All these things go together. You're being given life by Reiki. You're given a foundation and a grounding by Mother and Father Earth. You're learning to study yourself with Know Thyself. You're awakening the DNA to give you access to more of yourself. Then you're given a throne to show you your authority, to show you what you're responsible for. You know, authority is not just for you to walk around. Do you know who I am? Do you know who your creator is? Because that's the supreme authority, the true authority. But we got to be able to go into the depths of ourselves and really understand who and what we really are. You're much grander than what you think you are. And that's why the ascension process is essential. And he's given us Reiki Day to help us to do that. Because now we're being given classes that can help us to get to where we need to go. I look at myself as just a little kindergarten, first, second grade teacher. But I can give you one hell of excuse my language, a foundation to work from because he gave it to me. And I'm willing to share it with you. But then we all can use it and get to where we need to go. Because we need to get to a lofty place. I know you see the world. Do you want to leave it that way? The way that it is? Well, Reiki Day is a way that we could change the frequencies, vibrations, thoughts. Because if everybody was to take this ascension process seriously and take the different classes, we would grow and our vibrations will come off of the lower levels and go to the higher levels. And then God could let us into the higher levels. Because let us look at what the scriptures have pointed out. Enoch got ascended. He was just walking with God. And then it says God took him. Now he jumped to God, but God took him. Part of your ascension process. Let God guide you and walk with him. Don't let people tell you that there's something wrong with that. You have to be bolder, you have to be stronger. Like Elijah, who also ascended. He was a fighter. He fought against forces. He was blessed to do things to take away doubt. You knew God existed and was in power. And he was taken, as the scripture says, while he was alive. This is to show us you can be ascended now. You don't have to wait. You don't have to die to ascend. You can have life and ascend. And it says that he ascended in a fiery chariot. Well, what does fire do? Fire is a purifier and a light. So to ascend we have to use fire and light. And that was in the beginning with God's creating himself. Look at the parallels here. Come on, let's go. Walk with me. Because this is going to be one of the greatest decisions, one of the greatest decisions of our life, especially now, because it's dark already, but it's going to get darker. We have not seen the worst yet. And I believe that's why he put ascension on my mind, and he began to show me how Reiki Day was interconnected with his ascension, that he's giving us the bits and pieces to grow us up, to get us into our higher selves. But we have to do the work. So you have prayer, meditation, then you listening and watching what God shows you through your meditation, then you start working on that. That's building. That's what he did in the beginning. He brought those atoms together. He had to meditate and see, okay, how do we fit this together, and how do we make everybody have a cohesive cohesiveness between them? How do we make things work smoothly? Part of your ascension. The meditation and then work. He's working. You see all of his work. But that came from his mind, and that came from his will, strong will, and his power in being able to manipulate matter. Come on, we can do the same things. If we allow ourselves to, if we get out of our own heads, get out of our own way, stop being a doubting Thomas, and go to work, and then have consistency in our work, and not putting God in our box, but allowing him, like Enoch, just walked with God and God took him. It didn't say to God that Enoch did any work at that point. It just says he was walking. See, when you walk with God, you let him lead, then he'll take you higher. Stop letting people turn you away from the Creator. That is your soul source. And you don't want to be looking for peace, you want to be, you don't want to be looking for happiness. You want to be looking for peace. Happiness can change constantly, but peace is something that you want for the rest of your life. And you want to learn how to have peace in the midst of chaos, so you can stay calm and make the right decisions. Again, part of your ascension. So Reiki Day has been tied to our ascension. You can take it or let it alone. But we should take it, and we should do what we need to do to open up a better world for ourselves and the next generations. Notice I didn't say your children. I said the next generations. We can't saddle them with the condition that we've left this world thus far. So if we all get into our ascension mode, we can change this thing overnight. Now, stay with your spiritual centers, wherever you're going and whatever is helping you to really learn and be a better person. I'm saying that Reiki Day helps, and that Allah gave it to us to aid us in our ascension. And it's based off of his own aspects of his own creation, and then creation that he created, bringing into the different laws that we need. So all we got to do is take some classes, but make sure that we have the active will to learn. Don't take a class and think that it's over. No, take the class, take the replay, move out with the further instructions, and then keep working. Keep taking the classes, because every time you evolve, the energy of the class may add something different to you. Think about that. Because you've elevated. So now it's time for something new. So you keep taking the class to keep elevating yourself. So your ascension is constantly moving up. Because my gamers will tell you, when you play in the game, you got to get experience. You got to get items. You can't just do the super move from the start, unless you modded it. But under normal circumstances, you got to go through the trials of the game, which means you got to learn something, but you got to be willing to do the work, take the pain, the frustration. My gamers know what I'm talking about. They know what it's like to be stuck at a certain level and be at your wit's end. But still, keep going. And again, that's why the prayer is so important. That's why it was added to Reiki Day in a profound way, as a matter of fact. But it was added to Reiki Day, and then it was expanded to the days of prayer, so the different families can get their perspective and be able to grow in prayer. But like I said, prayer, the ultimate aim of prayer is to become one with the Creator, because He's teaching you. That's what happened with Adam. His original teacher was God Himself. Think on it. And prayer puts that back into play. So I hope I did a good enough job, because there were so many things that was being brought to mind last night. And unfortunately, I think we all know you can't write as fast as you think, and you can't think and write at the same time, because you're going to end up interrupting your thoughts. And when you just start thinking about something, and then God just starts bringing things to your mind, you don't have the time necessarily to put on the dictation on your computer, or grab your little recorder. It's like He's just taking you through it. And so I hope I've said enough to really get you going, to really help you to understand. I wanted you to understand the value of Reiki Day, and that when I told you that God gave it to me to give to us, I was not lying. I think you understand now. I think you see the classes, the evolution and ascension of Reiki Day is to cause and help you to see your own ascension. We can do this. The classes are fun, and we get a chance to work with one another. And again, just like that original atom with the other atoms, as they came together, when we come together in class, that's another symbolism of that action, because we're all different. So even though we're taking the same class, even though we have the same energy that's being introduced to us, we have different things happening to us. That's why I love class, because I love to hear how the God force reacts in other people. Where some people are seeing colors, some people even have dreams, or I'll say visions. of not just colors, but I mean like vision of like may see people or what have you, places, but just to see the different reactions and the different feelings and how the energy can make somebody feel very powerful and make somebody else feel very calm, cool, collective. Some people can really feel it. Some people may not feel it, but so much at all. But I just love doing it because I love to see God in action. And I want you to do the same thing. Start loving to see God in action in you first, but then in others, and then in the world. And let's change it where we can see Him in everything. I told my students, that's me. That's what I love. That's what God put in me. I want to see Him everywhere. And the classes, Reiki was given to us in a way that it empowers you, but it's not attached to any religion. It's like it was in that very beginning. Those atoms got hit with the energy, and that's all. It just is what it is. Now they had to work with it. It just is what it is. There's not a whole bunch of titles. They weren't worried about differences per se. They were learning to get along and work as a unit, work as one brain, all those cells making up that one brain. Always keep that in mind. If you accept the title, that's fine. But don't let yourself get into that mindset of you want to disrupt everybody else. No, we all, the classes help you to get connected to that energy, that truth. And like I said, then it can dispel unwanted narratives. And we move forward in truth, not fighting each other, in truth. Because the energy has helped us to understand, know, and feel that truth. You know what you felt. And should nobody be able to talk you out of it. I know what I felt. I know what I saw. Okay, stand on your truth. And that's what we all need to do. Stand on the truth that's being shown to us. Energy doesn't lie. So, again, I pray that Allah has allowed me to say something that may trigger you to really think about your ascension, to really understand the importance of Reiki Day. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention the angels also wanted to play a part because the angels are teachers. They've always wanted to help guide us. That's their part of their jobs. And they love it when we call them down. I had a incident where we did the guided meditation. We called the angels down, and I was blessed to see one. I saw its face. It wasn't super duper clear, but I saw its face. And he turned around and he said, "Thank you." And I was like, whoa, why is he thanking me? But then after I thought about it, it was like, oh, okay. I'm helping us to reconnect with them. And they've been waiting for a long time to be able to come back down and really be among us, share their wisdom, help us to grow. And this time, they wanted us to be able to have a group of them that will be with each individual person, helping each individual person if you ask for them. So make sure you're at the angel meditation today and tonight, and make sure you're at the Gaia or Mother Earth meditation this afternoon, 2:30. The angels is 8 p.m. And um, I'm not exactly sure this morning, but I've said all I think I need to say. I pray that we take our ascension to heart, to mind, to soul, to spirit. Let's get things moving. Let's get things changed. We have the power to do so because the God has decided to give us the power, the way to do so. He's sharing himself with us in a way that he hasn't in a long time, as he did with Prophet Muhammad, allowing him to come into the inner sanctuary and talk with him. He's opening himself up to us. It's time to turn back to him, like in the book of Malachi. Turn back to the Father. He's turning back to us. So with that, um, let's do the harmonic prayer. Everybody take prayer position. I need you to put your full will, mind, body, soul, spirit, and intention into the words of this prayer. So everybody take a few deep breaths. Breathe in light. Exhale negativity. Inhale light. Exhale negativity. And do it one more time. Inhale light. Exhale negativity. Now call on your guardian angels to cleanse your space and you. Ask to be connected with your higher self and ask it to take over this harmonic prayer. Now say, I ask for the angels to encircle me. And once you feel them around you, begin the prayer. O Creator of all that is, we humbly come before you in need of your grand healing hands to bring the earth back into the balance of optimal health. Please empower us by your healing hands to aid in the healing of our planet as we ask you to bring down your mighty healing energy to the planet and to allow it to flow through us so we may add to it and be healed ourselves. Feel the energy that you have created with the sincerity of your prayer. Think of all those of whom you want to be healed, human and otherwise, and let your prayer energy grow for them. Sit in the energy for a while, keeping your thoughts on healing yourself and others. Now ask the Creator to flow his energy to you now. As you feel the energy flow to you and through you, stay in it for a little while to heal yourself. When you feel your healing fulfilled, Point your hands to the ground and see the energy, palms facing the ground. See the energy go in and throughout all the earth, cleansing and rejuvenating it. Now say harmonize and feel the energy harmonize, and feel the creators and your energy harmonize. Stay here for a little while, feeling the harmonized power flowing through you to the earth. Now say angels, energy, harmonize, and feel the circle of angels. Feel their energies flow into you, then harmonize with the creators and your energy. Now continue to see the energy flow into and around the earth. Now say align and continue to flow the energy into the earth until you feel it is finished. Say these 4 lines with the intent, gratitude, sincerity, humbleness, and thought of atonement with the earth, angels, the creator, and yourself. Say them to yourself as you are still flowing the energy to the earth, but say these phrases. I love you. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Thank you. I love you. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Thank you. I love you. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Thank you. Now sit with the energy for just a little longer. Now ask the angels to close you and the earth off and to cut all energy ties for you, the earth, and the creator. Give thanks to the creator, your higher self, and your guardian angels, and all other angels that encircled you. Place or see your feet on the ground and say, I am now grounded. And see a little bit of the earth's energy at your feet. And when you are ready, open your eyes. Thank you, everybody, for being with us, for making that harmonic prayer. We hope to see you again at the next Reiki Day, which I believe is November 14th through the 17th. Sign up early. Start taking some of the classes. If you enjoyed yourself, go to our social media pages. House of Healing Light on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and capital HOHL 467 or 487 on TikTok. And let people know what you have felt through the classes and through the days of prayer. Let people know. We need to spread this message. We need to get everybody on the road to ascension. And so I thank you. Once again, I pray that I've said something to touch you that will help you to move in a higher direction. And we will see you again, God willing. Peace.